Hello, I'm Chris Pennick, and thank you for joining us for our final presentations. Today I'm going to discuss how my previous work creating a kit of parts of 3 easily identified spaces within the standard healthcare clinic, the check-in, waiting area, the doctor's office, and the exam room can be used to create an ideal healthcare environment. First, we'll talk about how using these parts come together to form a traditional office along with some of the materials commonly found, and then we'll move into 2 idealized versions that begin to modify the parts to better suit both patients' and doctors' needs. We begin with the familiar, a large traditional doctor's office. The parts used are the standard versions ubiquitous to most clinics, along with building materials whose main selling point is the ease at which they are cleaned. In the traditional space, patients start off in the standard checkout waiting. This type of setup is standard across most clinics. The patient enters, checks in with a clerk usually behind a glass window, and then sits down in the lobby with other patients waiting to be called back. This system works well because it is universally understood as part of the process. It begins to fall apart as we've seen, as it does not separate patients that might have contagious illness, and if a patient speaks another language, time is potentially lost looking for forms in an understood language. Next, patients are moved to an area where their vitals are taken and then onto their exam room. Standard exam rooms are typically 10-foot by 10-foot spaces made by sterile materials such as white vinyl flooring and textured vinyl wall covering, and consist of an exam table that a patient awkwardly sits on, a stool or chair for the doctor, and a couple cabinets full of medical supplies. While these rooms are effective for exams and are easy to maintain, they offer little in the way of comfort to someone who may have experienced medical-related trauma while being made of materials that may be harmful to occupants. Separated from patients are the doctor's offices. The traditional doctor's office, like most offices, exists as a place for the physician to get away and review patient information, research new treatment options, or generally perform administrative work. This mode works well in single practice with one doctor treating patients. It does not necessarily work well when there are multiple types of doctors reviewing the same patient. By isolating them from patient rooms and separating them from other professionals, they become less effective in terms of seeing patients and also denies the collaborative nature of healthcare. Lastly, the ability to access nature is severely limited to whatever landscaping has taken place on the outside perimeter of the building. Not traditionally thought of as part of healthcare, study after study has proven the positive well-being effects that ease of access to nature can have on a patient. Moving on, we have our first idealized theme, the courtyard. The driving idea behind this theme is that patients have an abundant access to nature, more comfortable exam rooms, and medical staff can utilize an on-stage, off-stage approach to care. Patients, again, begin their journey at the check-in. The difference being that patients can enter the clinic and then perform a self-check-in at a touchscreen kiosk. This self-check-in can collect basic biometric data such as blood pressure, heart rate, etc., and then direct the patient to an open room, all in their native language. Staff can be on hand to assist with those unfamiliar with the process, the clinic itself, or sanitize in between users. From here, patients are directed to one of the available consultation rooms to wait for the doctor. If no room is available, they are free to relax in the open courtyards until a room is ready. In this idealized version of the exam room, the patient enters into one of the consultation rooms where they can sit comfortably across from their doctor and discuss their medical needs in a calm place away from a sterile, lab-like environment of the traditional room, only going into the adjoining exam suite if necessary. Instead of separate offices from staff, a collaborative space where multiple doctors or teams can review patients together away from patient areas is created offstage. On-stage areas, considered to be spaces primarily for patients or family members, the offstage areas are the behind-the-scenes staff-only spaces. These spaces include the care team pods, workstations, internal control corridors, break rooms, storage, and other secure staff-only areas. Separating patient and staff corridors helps improve both efficiency and patient experience. Each consultation room has 2 entrances, one from the patient from the public corridor outdoors, and another from the clinical staff accessed from the offstage core. In the on-stage, off-stage design strategy offers better and more efficient patient care. Providing patients with more direct access to consult rooms allows for shorter waiting times and more face time with physicians. Caregivers can be notified when the patient is being taken to their room, so the process can be as streamlined and as efficient as possible. This adjacency to the care team provides direct access to the patient information and team support, allowing the patient to have a more efficient and enjoyable experience. Citing the exam rooms near the care team workstations also allows for more time with patients and less fatigue for caregivers. Not only does this model provide easier access to patient information and then necessary support, but also having the central care team space is a great way to allow for more opportunities for collaboration between the clinical staff. Finally, the namesake of this theme, the large open courtyard where patients can relax, let their children play, or can walk around while discussing issues with their doctor if they're comfortable. The second and last idealized theme is of the living room. This theme focuses on providing maximum comfort to patients while allowing private access to nature and maintaining some of the aspects of the onstage-offstage design discussed previously. Differing drastically from the previous two entries, this theme utilizes the at-home check-in system. Patients use whatever device they may have, be it cell phone, tablet, or computer, to check in prior to arriving at the clinic. They are then assigned a spot with no wait upon arrival. This method is the most convenient for the patient, as it allows them to be comfortable at home and only in the clinic for a short amount of time, hopefully. The side is that not everybody has a device or Wi-Fi at their home, and issues with transportation can compound scheduling issues if the client is late for their time slot. This theme takes its namesake from the exam rooms that are laid out like a living room. Room sizes are increased to fit larger furniture such as a couch, while wall-mounted televisions are available to keep the patients occupied until doctors arrive. Then they can meet comfortably in this area, go to the adjoining exam room if necessary, or go outside to the private garden terrace. The goal is to make the patient feel as safe and as homey as possible. Offices here function much the same as the on-stage-off-stage concept, except modified with a corridor in between spaces in order to eliminate any sound privacy concerns caused by conjoined walls. The split levels can also be used to house different departmental teams, allowing for different medical wards to be created while still utilizing the team core. The final piece of this theme is the availability of green space. By creating a private terrace garden, patients have a place where they can sit peacefully in nature while still being connected to the medical setting and having access to their doctor. These three scenarios are really just the tip of the iceberg. By shifting a few parameters and really taking patient comfort and doctor efficiency into account, there are a multitude of different design possibilities that really open this up. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to questions, and my full drawings with material palette and everything are available by request. Have a good day.